Hello, LIC families. This is Ian Daecher, the principal at LIC. I'm doing this message from my kitchen so you can see that what it's like in the Daecher household being an online principal. So first of all, thank you so much. I'm going to give you a couple updates because Monday we start a whole new format. It's not really a whole new format, but a different type of a version of our learning as we progress through the end of the year. First and foremost, I hope you're well. I know it's a difficult time. Many of you are working from home. We know people we have that are essential workers are also continuing to work while your students are home. So if there's any issues or concerns are going on, please contact us, contact your teachers, contact Mrs. Casabo, our school counselor, or myself with any issues or concerns so we can support you through this time. Congratulations for making the transition to some online review and enrichment, and our students have been working really well through that. So congratulations for finishing that part of our journey. And as we transition to this next part, I'm very excited because I know that our students will do really well and that we're really here to support you through that process. So we are moving starting on Monday to planned instruction and grading, and that was the purpose behind this presentation so that you have a good understanding, and that if you have questions today or throughout next week as we slowly progress into this, taking our baby steps, that you can reach out to us. I can't thank you enough for your patience and understanding through this. I've heard some fantastic feedback from a lot of people. And if you ever need something, do not hesitate to reach out to us. So what it's going to look like, that's going to be the changes. Before there was a reading, a writing assignment, a math assignment, then either a science or a social studies. We've condensed a little bit of that, and that was the plan that was presented to our school board on Tuesday. Students, what's going to stay similar is they're still going to jump into Schoology each day to see our school announcements, and also the information from our teachers. It's really important that students follow this tech page that they have to access Edgenuity and Odyssey-Ware and Spark. And I've communicated this with students, and so have the teachers. Some of our students are very tech savvy, and they're able to create some of those websites and make shortcuts that look like apps on their iPads. We've been told for them to try and avoid that and to try and access the online learning each day via the tech page. So here's some of the updates. ELA, they're going to stay in their English language arts. That's the reading and writing component. They're going to stay within their homeroom, and they're going to go ahead for 6th grade. They're going to be on Edgenuity starting Monday. 4th and 5th grade, Odyssey-Ware and Spark will probably roll out closer to Thursday. So they'll be doing about 15 minutes of online instruction each day in those platforms. They'll also be doing about 15 to 20 minutes of offline assignments. And you're going to see that's pretty similar for all three of our core classes. So within that, they're going to be spending about 35 minutes a day in each one of those core classes, reaching for ELA, math, and science or social studies between 90 and 105 minutes. Again, our goal is always to stay under 2 hours and right around that sweet spot of 2 hours for our 4th through 6th grade. So if you calculate the minutes out, you'll see we're kind of right there with that. You're going to see that the big change here is before with our review and enrichment, we were not doing grades. That's going to be different now. We will be, these assignments, some of them will be graded through the online format and the offline assignments. We're really trying to emphasize that the offline assignments, they're not using their iPad for them as much as possible. I know that can be difficult in some situations, and that access to materials, like if there's for English language arts, they're saying go ahead and read for 15 to 20 minutes. I know that some of the students might not have access to some books. Libraries aren't open. Our libraries aren't open. So it maybe we are posting it as an offline assignment, but students are still using maybe our online library to access new books. For math, this is a little bit different. Your students will be with the math teacher that they had at the second trimester. And they'll be following the same 15-minute of online, 15 to 20 minutes of offline each day. Science or social studies will also be by homeroom, just like ELA, and they will be following the same format. For social studies, they may be using a different online feature as well too. The teachers will communicate that clearly with the students so that they can independently do that work. And that's really important that they're doing this work independently. You'll see that our special is 10 minutes each day based on what our students have that day. And I'm going to go ahead and show you what that looks like, because that is a little bit of a change. And you can see if you add up all these minutes, they're somewhere between the 100 to 120 minutes each day. So the special schedule is changing. We have some of those options out there, and we have communicated this with students. They have something in their Schoology where they have a PDF to look at. So I know many parents have told me they'll just go ahead and write that down and post that right on the refrigerator. That's why I have the refrigerator right back here, so they know what special they have each day. It's not by cycle anymore, it's by week. So you'll see fourth grade doesn't have a special, but across the board on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we have these wellness options in the counselor's folder that they have those opportunities to do. I know on Wednesday with the scavenger hunt, I know a lot of people said they really enjoyed having that as a wellness option to get out and walk around as a family. You're going to see each day is a little bit different. Now, Monday, there is no special, so that's nice that you won't have that extra 10 minutes. But for fourth grade, phys ed will be Tuesday, Wednesday will be music, Thursday's library, and Friday's art. Fifth grade, again, you'll see the wellness optional things in this counselor's folder, but they're on art. They'll have art on Monday, Tuesday with no special, Wednesday phys ed, Thursday's music, and Friday's library. In sixth grade, we have library on Monday, art on Tuesday, Wednesday there's no special, phys ed on Thursday, music they have, Friday is their music day. Having said that, we understand that you need some flexibility and options in that, and you may have students in multiple grade levels. Our special area teachers will populate everything into their Schoology folders by Monday at 9 a.m. So you do have some flexibility if you would prefer having your students do the work for art on Monday. Maybe you have art materials you want to get out for all the students you have here at Landisville and do that on Monday. That's definitely an option that you can do. The reason why we designate these days is if parents want to know that specifically they want students to do those things on those days. We have our students that like to make sure they have check marks and plan things out each day. They have that option to kind of make sure they have those specific specials on those days. And at the same time, some of our special area teachers may be putting out Google Meets on some of those days for them to check in or do some activities together as a grade level. Here's the big changes here. Before we weren't doing formative grades. Now we will be doing only formative grades, no summative grades. But we will have formative grades for both the online and the offline work that will be populated into PowerSchool. So I know many of you check PowerSchool. That'll be an option for you to be able to see their progress in their online work and their offline work. And again, just like in a normal school, we don't grade every single assignment that comes to us. We use those assignments to have a good understanding, and we'll make sure students are aware when some of the offline work will be placed in PowerSchool and when some of the online assignments will be populated in PowerSchool as well too. Big difference there is in the third trimester, the grade that you might see in PowerSchool will be grayed out for the third trimester. You will see pluses and minuses for the indicators below, but they won't get a specific third trimester grade just because of the situation that we're in right now, where it is not your typical school day and the typical grading that they saw in the first and second trimester. Attendance is going to be tracked based on meaningful participation. And this is where it's really critical that you communicate your situation to us. Teachers are kind of going to be expecting to see students doing daily work. Students will see some due dates. We're very flexible with those due dates, but we will be communicating more often with you if we're not seeing students getting work done. But having said that, we know that many of you are going through a difficult time. If you know that students can't get to something maybe on a Monday or a Tuesday, communicating that with your teacher so that they know that you'll be kind of catching up with some of that other work on a different day or at a different time as well too. I know many students might be starting their work in the afternoon or evening times, not the traditional 9 to 3:30 that we typically do in a school day. But again, communicate. You'll see that on my next slide here, because in a regular school setting, our teachers can pick up physical cues, verbal cues from our students, and they'll be able to kind of adjust, and we will make adjustments that'll be what's best for your students and your family. But in this situation, we can't be in your home. We can't be there with your student as much as we would love to be. That's just the situation we're in. So please communicate with us if there is difficulties or your schedule dictates a time where students will be doing work at a different time, or if there's connectivity issues. Please communicate with us. Make sure that the students are doing the work independently. We're grading the work, so they should be doing it independently. It gives feedback to our teachers so that they can make adjustments and provide remediation and supports to our students, and also providing enrichment opportunities. I know the teachers are still going to populate some enrichment activities for students to do. They won't receive as much feedback as they have before on the enrichment opportunities, but there'll be options that if students kind of quickly get through the work and you want your children or they want to keep learning in a different way, there's going to be options for them to do that, options that we've been able to vet and know that will work really well for our students. Again, keep reminding your students to do their work, reminding them that's greatly appreciated, because that's kind of that second, hey, just remember, make sure you're getting on each and every day, unless you've communicated with us that's kind of not feasible or possible in your situation. Again, we'll be as flexible as you need us to be through this process. And again, when I say communicate, here's some options to do that. Email the teachers, they see that immediately, and they'll be able to get back to you at their convenience. If you call our phone number, I know my administrative assistant is working from home. As soon as she gets a phone call, if she's not able to handle it, she messages me or calls me or emails me right away, and I'm able to call you from my phone number, from my cell phone at home. So if you need that, you'll be able to see that. And if you see that 717 number pop up, I know many of you are receiving a lot of spam, but don't be afraid to see if it's me, or if I leave you a message, you can give me a call back. There's Mrs. Casaba, our school counselor's email. There's my email as well, too. It follows the same format as your teacher's, the first name _ last name. Make sure with my last name, it's spelled kind of funny, that you spell it the right way before you send it out to me. The big thing is we have higher expectations, because there is some grading features to it. We expect students to be trying to get engaged every day unless you're communicating with us. So if you're not, we're going to be reaching out to you more often to kind of remind students to continue working. We have higher expectations, but as always with our higher expectations, we're always going to have higher supports. If you need something, we'll be flexible. If you need accommodations, we will accommodate you in whatever way is going to help you through this difficult time. I wish you the best. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. And if anything was unclear or you need something from me, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. Sometimes I worry people are like, well, I don't want to really bother my teacher or bother the principal. You're not bothering us. Typically, we'd be there to communicate with the students. And unfortunately, we're not. So please do not hesitate to reach out to us. Have a great weekend. I miss you all very much. I miss the students very much. And I hope you're well.